Okay, let's start it up. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, my friends. Welcome to tonight's stream. I'm going late tonight. It's been a while since I've done a late night stream, but a lot of the time I feel like I work better late at night, so that's what we're going to do. Welcome to AfterCut, a series about post-processing and processing post, where we're going to talk about the intricacies of post-production, either of film and photography, and discuss the decisions we make in telling the artistic story of each piece. My name is Eric. I am a cinematographer, writer, director, editor, fight choreographer, and photographer. And tonight we are working on a film. We're going to be back working on Last Wave, The Curse of the Nicolas Cage Surfboard, and working our way again through some fight scene stuff with a couple of chainsaws. So that'll be fun. As always, the two big things about this channel, about this stream, are that I want this to be as much of an open forum as possible. I want to engage. I want you to ask questions. I want to have conversations. And if you are an artist, or if you spend your day creating art, I would love you to share links, either in the chat on Twitch or in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Please share your work there so that we can all see it and we can enjoy it and so on. As much as this is my platform, I would like it to be yours as much as I can. The other reason I do this is because post-production does not get talked about. It is a small part of, it is a small part of like the collective consciousness of how we create art in the digital age, but it is a hugely essential aspect of it. It doesn't get pressed. It doesn't get talked about a lot unless there's something going wrong. The process is really kind of nebulous, and so I want to share my process as we go through stuff. So, with that having been said, hey Shelby Lynn, yay! With that having been said, welcome to tonight. We are going back into Last Wave, and we'll chat as we go. So let's jump into Premiere. I said this a lot of the time when I'm editing here. Like, I'm editing in Premiere because it's what I'm familiar with. I started editing in Movie Maker and then in Sony Vegas, and I can tell you, it really what you're editing in, the program you're editing in, matters a lot less than your artistic process. Which is the thing I notice about movies is, like, all the time the movies that stick with me has less to do with the effects and more to do with the intelligence and the decision making that goes into the process and goes into the storytelling. And that is the thing that does not require a high budget. That is the thing that does not require fancy software or fancy gear. It just requires an intelligent crew, an intelligent team who take the time to think through details. And anyone who knows me well will tell you that I am certainly not one to count myself as intelligent, but I do take a long time to think through details. So hopefully it gets me somewhere. Okay. Okay, so this is the footage we went through last time. We've been kind of cutting through. We cut up to the. I don't know if we did this on stream or this is something that I went through and worked on. I think I worked on this a little bit myself just to finish cutting through some of this stuff. But yeah, so we. What movie did you see a frying pan used as a weapon in? I know there's been a couple. Which one were you talking about, Shelby Lynn? So anyway, I went through. I think last time we left off somewhere in here. We were doing the close-ups. And let's see. Do we get? There we go. That's a good first swing. Cool. So yeah. So basically, the way we shot this fight scene, is we start with our wides. We shot wide. We broke the fight scene down into 3 distinct sections, as designed by our fight choreographer. 3 distinct bouts where we kind of get a moment to reset in between. And so this is our first bat. We start with the wide shots of it. We filming. Our B cam was doing just mediums and close-ups throughout the whole thing. We shot an insert here just to quickly get it done. But then we also shot we shot a couple of wides. Yeah, went through our wides, did a bunch of wides because the wide shots are also probably the shots we're going to use the least, but the best chance for the actors to kind of warm into the fight. So we did the wides. Then on the same like I was on a dolly for most of this, with the camera being able to slide lateral to the actors, and so I was on a wide lens here. Obviously, for here I went to a close-up lens or a medium lens, and so I've got these moments of the fight here in close-up, but from the same angle. Then we went handheld. Then we got some B-roll. This is still on the dolly. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Then we went handheld, focusing on one of our guys here. They're gonna be loud. I'm gonna turn their volume down a little bit. So we went handhelds, doing close-ups, doing mediums and close-ups, which I can then. The nice thing, we've talked about this on the many times with this footage, because this is shot in 4K, but we're delivering in 2K. I can take this and scale this up to 100%, and this medium shot is now a close-up, and we can turn that into a moment where we want to get the crazy in his eyes, which looks phenomenal. So we got that. Then we did the same in reverse, where we're focusing on Boogie, and did his fight scene, and then we went and did a bunch of inserts. So for certain moments like this, where we do, like, we've got this hit across the face, we went and just from the same angle just ran this a bunch of times. And here's the thing: you can see if I go to if I show you from like the wide here. I was cutting some of this out, but like, yeah, if you watch this swing, like, clearly huge distance between him and the back of the chainsaw. But if you watch the shot from here, that looks awesome. We need to clean up the audio a bit there, but yeah, watching. So that's one of the ways that just looks, boom, looks excellent. And that's one of the ways we do this. We make fight scenes look good. Then we have a shot that I haven't cut up yet of because I don't think I'm going to use it, but of the chainsaw falling, which happens when at the end of the scene Boogie gets knocked down, so he loses his chainsaw. So it's important that the audience keep up with that. Then we did a couple inserts here, because we realized when they're locking the chainsaws up. This is something we found on the day. When they're locking the chainsaws up, that they create this cool X, and if we position them correctly for the moment, they can lock up over cage. And so we did a couple shots where they're doing it in a medium and a wide. And here's the other thing about faking those hits, which is a cool thing, is that this is you're watching it. I'm gonna go back and play it again. About faking this hit is like, that looks good without sound. Once we add in, like, I mean, Boogie is making kind of an sound, like he's making a sound like he's getting hit. But once we add in a good, like, sound effect of that hit, and that's not what it's gonna sound like. Obviously, you're gonna go with something much more painful. That moment is gonna, I think, has the chance, like, that's a hit that you're gonna feel, which is great. So yeah, so we did a couple wides of them locking up the chainsaws, and obviously didn't use, we had the B camera rolling because there's some stuff that might be good, but for this shot, angle really matters, so it's gonna be on the main cam. Then we did a couple close-ups on them for that moment, because we decided, okay, this lockup's gonna be a beat. It's gonna be a moment for us to throw some character in there, which a good fight choreographer will build in. They'll build in chances for the characters to have some reactions and to see them kind of dealing with the fight as it's happening. So Devin, our fight choreographer, did a great job, and we want to exploit that and enhance that with how we shoot it. So yeah, we get the shot of Doucheman looking at him, we get the shot of Boogie reacting to it, and then we did some some specific close-ups on Cage with the chainsaws locking up on him there. And yeah, we'll find a spot to use it. And again, this is These are all shot. Like this is all again 54%. So if I take it into 100%, we can turn this into a really nice like kind of haunting close up on Cage with those chainsaws locking up over him, which is just great. And this is also all slow-mo that's been sped up, so there's a lot we can do with that there. So yeah, that's our first chunk edited, or not edited together, but put together. Here's our here's our beginning audio that I've gone through a little bit and trimmed up, but I haven't started pulling out takes yet. And then here's where we start the next section. So we take a break, you do a bit of rehearsal, get everything set up here. There's all of us on set getting ready. There's our director. So yeah, so let me clean this up. There we go. Let's take the. And that's the other thing is like we're watching this and like we didn't like obviously we did like we took a break in between as we kind of finished bout 1, set up for bout 2, but when we were in the shooting of the film, there's probably not going to be a break. Like our break is going to be when the chainsaws lock up. Might be a little bit of something when Boogie's down, but for the most part, we're going to jump right. The fight continues. So it's one of my favorite moments, just because it's easy for a chainsaw. It's easy for to bring in like, hey, we're going to do this fight with an improvised weapon or with something that's not a typical weapon for a fight. And the first question I think fight choreographers should ask, and that Devin certainly did, is what about this? What kind of moves can I do that I can't do with a traditional? If this was a fight with swords or something, what can we do? And this idea of like let's put the chainsaw on the ground and kind of bring it at him that way was a nice touch. This is just now we're using the cage board as a weapon, which also again we're thinking about how do we make this fight scene uniquely this movie? How do we make this a thing that's specific to our film? And how do we get the cage board involved, because the cage board obviously is going to play an important role in how this fight scene ends. So we figured, okay, we got to make sure we want to include it somehow. So there we go. Got some good hits in there. And again, same deal. This is a wide shot thing we push into medium. This is our close-up cam. Like, in this take, like this first hit clearly doesn't land. We did do close-ups to make this hit work, because like he's clearly too far away. But the second hit here, like that looks pretty good if we're gonna use this angle. Same deal. Did a bunch of wides. Shot it the same way. The point of this, like, the point of fights, the weird thing about filming fight scenes that I have found is that it is easy to, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, sometimes fight scenes, like, same way I was talking about a couple streams ago where I said that, like, if fight choreography goes too fast and, like, goes the speed of an actual fight, it ends up, it looks incomprehensible on screen. Fight scenes, if you want them to be comprehensible in terms of the filming, often it makes sense to shoot most of them in a fairly conventional way. With certain, if you're going to add in flourish, add it into those inserts, into those moments that you want to get, those moments that like you want to have a little bit of flair to, but yeah, there we go. Those moments you want to add flair to, but the rest of it is shot pretty straightforward. So yeah, same kind of deal. Shot on the wide. We pushed into a medium close. And then we came out and did our hand held over the shoulders. So we've got both of them. See, there you go. That's a real quick thing. We're having him fall. Oh, there, yeah. Remember, we shot this in February, so props to Boogie. But we started, coming into the second bout, we knew that we like our pause in the fight is the chainsaw lock up, at least at the beginning. So we're like, all right, even though this is where we took our break, because it's the beginning and end of bout 1 and the start of bout 2, we knew we were gonna editing wise we wanted to keep this continuous. So we start here with Boogie sitting up, like he hasn't, like, you know, he gets knocked to the ground like from standing, but you start with him sitting up, and then what'll happen is we'll cut to, well, once he falls, we can go right into that moment. And we can watch him do his thing. Here's the shot from his point of view where he sees the board and gets the idea to use it as a weapon, which is, yeah, it's one of those little things you gotta, the little small details you gotta think about the storytelling as you go. It's like, all right, what shots do we need in here? And this is a thing I talked about this a lot, and I say this to everybody anytime someone's like, you know, hey, what, like, you know, it's like, oh, I want to be a director, want to be a cinematographer, want to be, you know, making movies on set. What should I do? We're drinking punch tonight. The answer from my end is always edit something. Edit, because when you edit something, you realize the shots you want, and you realize how important a little insert shot can be, or important a little what little bits of extra storytelling you want. And so in this case, yeah, having that moment of him seeing the board. Honestly, one shot I wish we'd gotten that I don't think we did, is a shot of the, you know, like a point of view shot of him seeing the other chainsaw, because he kind of runs for it like he knows it's there. Let's see how I can work my way around that. But actually, I might have a way to do that. But yeah, so having the point of view of the board, and that drop there was his eyes. This would be his eyes looking down and looking up, where he sees the board and gets the idea that that's the weapon he's going to go for. Yeah, absolutely love how that's looking. So we do close-ups on him. We then do our close-ups on Doucheman, other way around, and then we've got shots here that are our, like, you know, our insert. So he brings the chainsaw down and kind of runs it across the grass. We've got a shot here. Why is this cropped the way that is? Yeah, I don't know why that's cropped the way that is. Let's reset that. Bring it down to like there. That's not bad. So again, yep, we got that shot, which we can, and that's the thing, is that because of the fight scene, and there's an important thing when you're doing a fight scene, like, obviously you want to say, you want, like, it's the same kind of, this is a weird analogy to bring up, but in like, the comparison that comes to my mind is like kink and BDSM, when there is a, like, anyone at any time is allowed to say, pause, stop, I don't feel safe, I want to, you know, and that's not just the person in the, like, in the role of being, of like the submissive, it's also the dom can say this as well. Same thing for fight scenes, where if you are the, you know, the attacker, the one being attacked, 100%, you know, it's like you're supposed to be the one in control, you're supposed to be the one who, a lot of fight choreo moves are actually designed so that the person being attacked has all of the control, and the person attacking is doing next to nothing. Not in this fight, obviously, that's more hand to hand, but in a, you know, it is, as much as it's important to monitor, like, if you're the one being attacked, and monitor making sure you feel safe and making sure you feel controlled and making sure you feel, you know, this moment is happening safely. At the same time, if you're the one doing the attacking, you have to, you know, keep, you know, and this and that switches, but, you know, as a fight scene ebbs and flows, make sure that you don't, you know, if you ever feel yourself getting too into it or getting too, you know, wrapped up in the fight and feel yourself getting in a speed or, you know, to an intensity that isn't safe, you should also say, stop, guys, I need to reset. And so moments like this, where we're doing the chainsaw kind of running along the ground like that, is, you know, like, we shoot it in the wide, but that's also a moment where that, like, we're also like, let's do a close-up that we can control and make sure we can definitely do that moment safely. A, so it looks really good, and B, so that we don't, in the energy of the fight scene, we don't end up messing up an important moment. Let's see. Same deal there. This is him getting hit and knocked into the wall. Good. There we go. Looks cool. Couple more shots there. There we go. That shot that we said, you know, that first hit before we, you know, didn't totally look good in the wide. We did the over the shoulder so that we can do a hit that from here looks really good. Let's watch it. There we go, because that hit looks amazing. So, again, same thing. That distance is the same, but from this angle, it looks really good. And then, yeah, just kind of doing moments like this where we just kind of get all of our little pickups. So, yeah, that's some of the details for how we shot this fight scene. And I am kind of stalling because I'm trying to decide what to work on tonight. In terms of which part of this I want to edit. I think I want to work on the beginning last. I think I want to work on like this whole the dialogue and everything coming in, because I've got so much cool footage that I'm debating using. So, like, we'll see what I end up using for this. But yeah, give me one sec, guys. All right. Back into this. Yeah, I've got a bunch of this cool B-roll. I mean, I've got the cage board there. I've got
everyone is dead.
I got this shot, which I gotta figure how much I'm gonna use, because I really love, like, yeah, Boogie being surrounded by flames, and this is certainly a do or die moment for him. So that's the thing that I really want to, you know, like, be able to lean into. So yeah, that's a possibility. And then yeah, we got
I read my sister. Brother's blood.
Got this speech here where he stands up.
I'm gonna own this curse, and I'm gonna use it against you. And whenever innocent blood spills, it'll be my father's.
There we go. And what I'm probably gonna do with this is I'm gonna bring this down so it's so it's like that. And then what I'm probably gonna do is, if I just do an example here, I'm gonna take this, set the scale to that, set this to, I don't know, actually let's get to the end of the speech, set this to, 75, there we go. And I'd adjust the position as I go, but we'll do like
brother's blood, and you'll find me here with the spirit of vengeance, fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, we'll do that and turn it into a cool setup moment, or cool, badass moment for him. I think we did a handheld push in as well, but I think I'm probably gonna do it digitally. We did a couple takes. Let's roll through, do a second take. And he's waking up after having just been assaulted earlier in the day, so that's why he's bruised up. That's why he's covered in blood.
Right on set.
Yep.
Brother's blood.
And how I use this is gonna depend on what I start with. Because I'm coming over to this sequence, which I might just work on this backwards. But I come over to here. If I use Doucheman's handheld shot as the first swing. Not that take, probably the other take. But if I end up using that, it might make sense to do the handheld shot for this, because it'll be we'll be going from handheld to handheld, minus the light in the background there.
My father's curse.
Whereas if I'm going with a more stable shot when we start, I may do that differently and go with the more static shot. Okay, you know what? Let's start working on this. I'm not sure how the first hit's gonna go, but let's start with him grabbing the chainsaw. Do we have, I think if I pull this back, I'll check something real quick. Okay, that shot's probably not the one to use. Let me check this other one. Because what I'd like to do is set up this chainsaw before the scene starts. I'd like to be able to set that up. Might be a thing I have to do. I have to get really creative about. But if I can have him, when he wakes up at the very beginning of the scene, he's looking around. If I can show some version of this, or even cutting it in when he says, you'll find somewhere that you'll find me here with the spirit of vengeance, fighting fire with fire, putting something in there putting that insert so we know it's there, so that when he runs for it, it's not a surprise. That might be a thing to do. I'm gonna check something. The other thing we did, I think I talked about this on the stream before. Yeah, is we did some shots where, like, we grabbed we put the chains back on the chainsaw at the end of the night, and then went and got and shot a bunch of inserts, so that we have them. Shot a bunch of inserts so that, like, now, yeah, when he drops the chainsaw, you still see the blade on it, and that adds the illusion that the chainsaw is still a big part of, or that the chainsaws have the blade on the entire time. We got these shots here, yeah, where the thing revs up, which of course we'll be adding in sound effects. And of course, this is shot in slow motion, so when time comes, I can slow that down and make it look all kinds of sinister. Look at that backlighting, that face. That's great. That's how you do it. Okay, so I keep putting off doing the actual hard work of the scene because it's gonna look cool, but it's gonna take a lot of work to pull it off. So we're gonna get started. This is part 2. We're gonna go probably into double-digit parts putting this fight scene together, and that's not. I will tell you right now, I'm not showing you how this thing ends. That's not getting edited on stream. You have to see the movie to find that out. Assuming I don't make a mistake and accidentally click on one of the clips where it happens. All right. But like I said, I want to start with him grabbing the chainsaw. Let's start there. All right. So we've got some space. Let's start with the chainsaw grab. Okay, so in this shot, you can see that Douchman isn't there. This one you don't really notice as much, so that's maybe the one we go with. That's got Boom Shadow in it, so don't need it. Okay, so we're going to copy this. Actually, we're going to cut this. We don't need, this doesn't need to be. We've already got better versions of it in the workroom, so the stuff in here is meant to be cut up and copied and pasted, or cut and pasted. So, back to the start. So this will probably be cutting in right somewhere around here, right when he grabs it. Not sure. I'm gonna go. That will be adjusted once I actually figure out how I'm starting this scene. Framing wise, thank you Premiere for saving. Framing wise, I think I want to bring this down a bit. There we go. Get the chainsaw kind of right on the edge. And then check that other one as well. So this is the downside to shooting fight scenes with this much coverage. You end up with an embarrassment of riches and have to choose. There's a lot of choices here. So that's why I'm starting with this, because I know I'm starting with one of these 2 takes. That's actually better. That's a better take. Alright, so let's not use that one. Actually, hang on a sec. Let's take. So this shot is getting cut and getting put in the RHSC, which is where I put all my footage that I like, but I'm just doesn't quite make the cut. So in case we need it later, it's there. Back to the FaceOff. I think if I just kind of position this a little bit lower so we see the chainsaw, and I can actually zoom this in a little bit. Cut it there once he's kind of revving it up, and I can use that to cut to something new. Let's go back to the beginning of this clip, because I do think I want to push in a little bit. Let's go to 65. There we go. Push it over a little bit. I'm down here, and we're gonna keyframe my position. As soon as this clip's gonna start, actually I don't need to keyframe from the beginning. I can keyframe from here. Right there. Put a cut. Start that here. I got that tilt up, so I'm actually gonna put this keyframe there because that's where I want this move to start. And I'm gonna tilt up a little more, just kind of enhancing what's already there. Good. Also, if I start that tilt up earlier, that might be better. That's the thing I haven't figured out is the visual language of this scene yet. I haven't figured out where I really want this scene to go, and that's been one of the things that's been holding me off on doing this. Oh, my phone hasn't updated once. Let's see. Yeah, go for it. And this is the thing. This is why I talk about this series being about processing post is because thank you, is because it really comes down to knowing the decision making I want to make. There's the hit. Yeah. So it's bit by bit. Let's see. And we're gonna work on that hit, because that's supposed to be, and it will be, like in once we get the editing done, it's supposed to be kind of a like Boogie pushes it off and Douchman immediately comes around with it with the back end of it. So let's see. I'm debating where I want to go with how I want to start editing this together in terms of like how I want to start cutting it up. I think I'm gonna start cutting it up just by hit to hit. Okay, that hit's okay. Let's actually put that back down. It's not my favorite. That last swing isn't bad. The rest of this is not my favorite takes. Though, once the camera starts moving, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind the scramble. And then we can cut from there. So that moment's okay. We're just gonna start cutting these out and finding the best parts. And I'll say I have a pet peeve for this. I'm gonna make sure we don't end up using a shot that shows this. And I get why it happens, but I have a pet peeve with when you're doing a fight scene and you're swinging something at somebody, like especially a shot coming across, like just watch this. If Boogie was not here, watch that, like that wouldn't have hit him. If Boogie was not there, doesn't matter. If Boogie hadn't moved, that wouldn't have hit him. And so I want to find a take where it looks like it would have. The movement here, the camera movement here is pretty good though, so we're gonna keep that. There we go. So that setup's not bad. Let's keep that. Again, same kind of thing. Doucheman's swinging high on these first few takes. I don't mind Boogie's push-offs, though. I don't like the end of those moments. Once they connect and I really don't mind that. Like the reset and then Doucheman starting the next swing. And that's the thing about fight scenes. It's gonna be quick editing. So I can grab moments like this and be like, yeah, I can use that. I don't need to worry about trying to get a take that plays the whole way through. It's not that kind of movie. It's if we're mimicking Cage's style, Cage's fight scenes have been more often directed by this is he's not Keanu Reeves. We're talking Michael Bay editing. We're talking Simon West. We're talking John Woo. So lots of clips, more about the feeling than the official continuity, which is why when we shot those inserts, we made sure to be extremely clear about them, because those are the big important moments. You know, it's not, you know, whether we can tell exactly, you know, chainsaw this way, chainsaw that way, chainsaw this way in a moment like this, less important. Boogie getting knocked down and losing his chainsaw, that's important, so we made sure to shoot that in a very clear insert. Alright, same thing here. Don't love the swing, love the recovery, so the recovery will keep. Recovery's good. Welcome to a lot of editing, guys. This is a lot of what you do, especially editing a scene like this. This is the thing. I'm like, as much as this is exciting to be like, hey guys, we're going to edit a chainsaw fight. This is the thing. Fight scenes take a long time to edit. There's a lot of small details. It's a lot of like watch and just, you know, pull out tiny bits because it's going to be quick editing. This is before we start talking about what the music's going to sound like. Love my phone to cooperate now that it's updated. It should be brand new. Should be doing all kinds of fun new stuff. There we go. Okay. So, again, same. The recovery's pretty good. I like them kind of lined up there. The fire, and again, I can push these in if I want to into close-ups or into mediums. There we go. That's a better swing. That feels. I think that's supposed to be the lockup. That actually didn't look too bad. Okay. They're figuring that one out. So, but that swing isn't bad. Speed that up a little bit, and then Doucheman comes in with the next hit. That's a solid moment there. I'm not grabbing that because I know what that's gonna look. I know what moment that's gonna be. I know how we're gonna what shots we're using because we want to lock up over. We want to get the shadows over the board, but the aftermath might not be bad to have in terms of just usable. They're still figuring this out. The hit and the fall wasn't bad at the end there. That could actually sped up. That could look really good. That hit. So the recovery there. Boom. Speed that up. Kick. And he's down. That's not bad. Okay. Cool. Usable. Usable as hell. All right. Let's work on the next. Let's look at the same footage, but from our B cam. That's not bad. And in case you're wondering, as just a rough reference, like this is the raw footage. This is the B cam footage, which is a little more compressed. So this is closer to the look the final scene's gonna have. Like more saturated, more reds, a lot of darker shadows, and like, yeah. Yeah, that turn is pretty good. I'm That's pretty good. That recovery's not bad. Zoom in on Cage. Oh, that's a good moment. Excuse me. It's a good moment to have. It's just a reaction. Because that's the other thing is editing fight scenes. Is I'm gonna be working on making sure the continuity of the actual movement is important. But probably the second or third pass, as I start polishing this fight scene up, what I'm gonna be adding is reactions. Because you will learn. I'm not sure if I know there's a movie that's done this. I'm not sure if I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I have seen a movie that did a fight where that played entirely in close up on the main character's face. Like they did a phenomenal job of. And I'm not sure exactly how they maintained it. Maybe they might have mounted the camera to the actor in some way, but doing a fight scene where it's entirely in the main character's face and you still understand how the fight is going, and that is the important part of the fight. Like emotionally, like it's super cool to see the fight, but when it comes to like how do you make a fight scene feel like a continuation of character and story, the answer is to make sure you got your character in there, and the characters are getting the screen time that they need, and not getting put in second place to the special effects. That's not bad. Yeah, that. Because we can use that from yeah. And that fall's not bad either. It's that little bit where he's going out of frame. That could work. Okay, cool. A couple of bits from that clip are good. We're gonna keep doing this. This is just how this is how this night's gonna go, guys. It's always a slow start. Of course, I don't think we can use this because, like, I think that looks like me over in the corner there, and that's the boom shadow. So, though that turn in is. You'd never notice it, but it's there. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. Oh, hang on. Delete it. Actually, I'm not deleting anything. Let's just let's pull that clip. There's a decent chance, not decent chance, tiny chance that that I'm gonna find myself needing a moment of that turn. Like there's. You know, some of the small details and some of the like this is the kind of thing that is easy to like if you don't have someone on set whose specific job is continuity, and if you want to give the actors a little more freedom to play, I'm not sure he turned around this right, clockwise or counterclockwise each time, so there might be a chance where I'm like, oh, the only clip that I have, like the takes that I really want to use have him doing that, or like the take of the like. I don't think we're not seeing him do anything here, I don't think. No, but depending on what take I want to use going into this, I might like, oh, I need another shot where he spins around. Oh, look, that take might be the only one that does it, so there we go. It's good to have it. Okay, let's look at this one next. Same deal, cutting up stuff into tiny bits. Let's bring this down and start finding specifics. Not the best, we'll keep looking. That's why I'm not deleting anything, is because I might come back. It might come to a time where I'm like, nope, I need, like, I don't have a take that really conveys all the information the way I want it to, so I might have to live with one of these. Again, that movement is pretty good. Once we kind of get past that pause and Boogie starts trying to get away, good. There we go. And you'll notice here, he just sort of grabs the chainsaw and gets it and clicks it, and he's good. The having that other shot and having that moment where he can really crank it a little bit lets me turn what is a very quick beat in the wide into a moment in the edit, and that's important. That actually looks pretty good because that doesn't look like that one. This attack here, it has a little bit of speed to it, which is good. The other thing is it doesn't look like it's a swing across that aimed high. It looks like it's an overhead that Boogie pushed out of the way. I don't remember exactly whether Devin choreographed it one way or the other, but that moment looks good and that can work. That one not so much, but the recovery, good. So this whole moment, not bad. And of course, like, I'm not gonna let a shot like this play that long. This is too long for this fight. Need to find some music to edit this too, because that'd be the thing to work with it on. Excuse the yawning. It is 2:30 in the morning. I apologize. Shout out to yawn on stream. But this hit also looks really good, so we're gonna use that. That's something I could live with. There's your lockup. We're not using that because we know where it's going to be. That swing isn't bad. If we start it once the movement's actually going. Alright, there's a classic thing with fight choreography. We're going to talk about this for a second. Notice how Boogie is getting in position to block this before Doucheman's moving. And that's a hard thing to do with fight choreo, is to make sure that you are... it's the challenge of acting is rehearse, plan, think about it, then come on set or show up on stage and make it sound like you've never said these words before and this is the first time you're feeling all these things. Fight choreo is the same way. You're looking for authenticity. You're looking for stuff that feels... and stuff that feels chaotic and stuff that feels like we're especially in this case that Boogie is scrambling to figure this out. And that's always going to be there's always kind of, with fight scenes, there's a little bit of a leeway there because it's choreographed and they're not going at the speed of a regular real life fight. But still, a moment like this where Boogie's getting ready before Doucheman is, not going to use it. Okay, so the ending of that's not the best, but here we go. Let's watch it. Let's watch the beat cam. That's not bad. Don't hate that. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Actually, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it down there. This is some of the things where I'm looking at this and this moment with Doucheman I actually really like. So I'm gonna grab that. Yeah, that moment I actually think could be pretty good. This one's a big maybe. It's a big maybe for whether we could use that. I'm gonna put that up top as a lesson to myself that up top are gonna be the maybes. All right, that's that clip sorted through. Let's do the next one. So I'm gonna try to get through all these on stream tonight. I think that'll be a good use of my time. And then what I'm probably gonna have to do is I'm gonna sit down with the footage. I'm gonna reread the script. I'm gonna play some music, and I'm gonna watch the opening dialogue, and I'm gonna find the rhythm here. That one wasn't as bad, which is art of the possible a little bit, but let's look. I like to see if I can give them a moment to settle in here and see if I can give them a moment to like. Yeah, see if I can give them some kind of a moment to like to settle into this fight, and settle into like once Boogie gets the chainsaw, set up the stakes. That third recovery was good. That block from Boogie was very good. That was good. That was also nice. That swing and then into the overhead. Good. And Boogie's moving about the same time Doucheman is. He's not anticipating the move. Good. Very good. Did I like this opening? It was okay. The opening wasn't bad. That could actually work because they are in the right spot where the board is. So the end of that could work. Cool. We'll put the cut there because I don't think the rest of this is going to be. Actually, that moment wasn't bad. Yeah, that attack with the push down, that could actually. That one's actually pretty good. I'm gonna be happy with that. See, that looks better. Again, the right angle from the wide, it looks like he's swinging way over. In this one, that looks like a legitimate dodge, and I like that. And the scramble is good. All right. Getting Boogie in position here. Good. That's also a good moment to have. That sweep is good. Look at that face. That sweep on the sweep and the lockup looking good. We know what's gonna happen there, so I don't need to worry about it. Yep, them coming down looks good. God, Joe's arms look phenomenal. Good, that comes up. That, yeah. Yeah, and then the attack here. And then the coming across. And then we cut to the other angle to see him get hit. Nice. Save. That looks pretty good. That we can definitely use. This is always the thing with fight scenes. It's always the thing that worries me. It's always the thing I'm trying to make sure still always plays and always works, is to make sure this stuff still looks and feels good. And then that was the other thing about, like, when we were on set, not only did I have a monitor for me to watch the fight and have a good view of it, our director had a monitor and our fight choreographer had a monitor, and so they're all watching these takes. They're all watching the fight, and they're all like, directors looking at performance, looking at moment, looking at character. I'm looking at lighting and framing and capturing the details, and our fight choreographers looking at, are they doing the choreography correctly? Are there moments that we could enhance, and are there moments that we need to, are there hits that do and don't sell? And that's great. One of the he's sitting there with his list of his chart for the fight, his fight chart, and he's watching them fight, and he's got a script, and every time he sees a hit that he's like, okay, that one maybe we want an insert of. If there's a moment they're consistently kind of and missing is the wrong word, because it implies that they're not doing their jobs, and they are. But fight scenes are by their nature messy. And when you have an opportunity to be like, hey, let's, this hit, they keep kind of having a little bit of trouble getting it to land exactly right, let's make a note and do an insert of it. It's an easy thing to do, and it makes the moment look better. All right, so this. Scramble looks good. There we go. Grabs the chainsaw. That was the time we actually got the chainsaw working. And but the yank and the turn, good. We can use that. So that's a good little moment. Let's watch this one here. Technically, it's an outtake. That ending isn't bad. That pan over to Doucheman. Let's see. Yeah, the look back. Yeah, it's not a bad moment to have as an option. Okay, cool, super easy. Mostly because the rest of that take isn't an outtake because because yeah, the chainsaw started out when it wasn't supposed to. Which is another thing. Our talking about the sound, like there's a very true comment. I think Walter Murch said it, who's a godfather of editing. I think he edited The Godfather. But that editing is 80% sound. And I don't know if I agree that 80% is exactly as far as it goes, but sound is so important. And if you have a movie with bad visuals and good sound, that's probably a better watch and can be a more engaging film than a movie with good visuals and bad sound. That having been said, the best thing that makes a movie good is a good story with good characters. So don't get too caught up on the tech. But fight scenes are made in the sound edit. The sound editing on a fight is just hugely important. So let's take a look at this. Way too high. Oh, but that move, that dodge, and that run is pretty good. The drop there, that feels visceral. Getting a little bit of the fire in there. And yeah, he comes over, he grabs it. The turn and the prep, that's good. I like having that moment where you kind of can kind of settle into it. I'm gonna try to give them both that. So yeah, that once it finishes saving, that's gonna get popped up here because that's a good take. Next take. That one I feel like we're kind of cheating because like the saw itself is way out of range, but the shadow isn't bad. I'm gonna bring this one back down because I want to watch the whole thing. Right. Yeah, him getting up with the chainsaw looks good. That third hit looked pretty good. That moment looks fine, like that. That looks good. I kind of wind up into the stab. And the swing into the hit, yeah. Put your cut there. That moment works. How'd that kick look? A little bit of anticipation, but really not bad. I'm actually really happy with how that looks. A little speeding up of that take is excellent. Yeah, that take is good. I'm really happy with how that take came out. All right, cool. And this is encouraging me because I'm finding moments. I'm like, okay, good. We've got that part of the fight scene looks good. And this is before we even get into the close-ups, which are going to be, I think, is going to be where most of this fight scene's going to live. Oh, there's that advance. I love that. Like the shoulder work he's doing, the kind of... Did we catch some highlight there? I think we did. Yeah, look at that. We got a little catch light in his eyes. We lit his eyes up. Look, that's perfect. We can start the swing. A little movement there. Excellent shot. Same deal. Also a good move in. And starts his swing. Good. Keep that. Next. Yeah, that ending's good. This is the right angle for that moment. So, yeah, that attack looks great. Let's delete this and pull this back. Same deal with this. Delete and pull back because I want this as one clip. So, the hit. And here's the thing, because this is this aspect ratio, I can come down to about here. I can even push this in a little bit more. That deranged yell out of him. And of course now, because this is this aspect ratio, I can crank this up and I can make it into the... I can get his face in there, which is... That just looks great. Cool. Yeah, there's that. Also, this B-Cam stuff was shot by Riley Corder, who's a phenomenal person, brilliant writer, and just rock solid person to have on set. To have her, she's an amazing AD as well. So, yeah, want to give credit where credit is due. This was well shot by her on the B-Cam. Oof, I'll get those shoulders working out. All right, how many more of these we got to do? We got a bunch. Let's get into it. This is the longest one though. It's because I'm apparently filming the fire.
Okay, swipe. Okay, very good.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, same thing. We're on. Yeah, we're still on main cam, but on the... I think this is the 24-105 lens. I'm gonna take this shot and first of all delete the sound, and second we're gonna cut that, and I'm gonna drop that down here with the kind of... Let's reset this. Drop this down here with the rest of the B-roll because that's where it belongs. Cool. Okay. All right, that's not the rest of the B-roll. Undo. The rest of the B-roll is down here at the far end. Let's put it down here. So we're in there. There we go. Just lock it up to that. Great. Because that is not a shot that I'm going to need anywhere specific. It's probably going to end up in the beginning, honestly, if I'm going to use it. Okay, and we left off here. Let's work on this. Same deal. You watch the same fight over and over and over again. So, and you work on every decision, and you know, tweak it and change it and adjust it and fix it and do it again, just so that the audience can see it one time, and when they see it that one time, it moves them. Again, run isn't bad. And the thing is, I'm watching this going, like, I think the run in like one of the other takes was better. I love there's one where we dip in and see the fire. I think it's great, but I'm gonna... Any of this that's good, I'm gonna keep, because you never know what you're gonna end up needing. If I find a take later, or if I find a take somewhere here, I'm like, that's the one I want. That one's perfect for this first moment. By necessity, my next take has to try to match up with as much as I can. Okay, so the turnaround is good. Doesn't have that chance to settle in, but I'll still keep it. Might take some cuts in. Yeah, that missed. Oh, that swing was good, though. That swing is awesome. and then they lock up. That moment is going to be a good one in the scene. That's almost guaranteed. That's the shot I'm going to use for that first swing, depending on other takes. But yeah, so cool. Still aiming high. That dodge was good though. Okay, let's grab that. That moment's not bad. Where'd my mouse go? Hey, stop. Premiere. Are we being obnoxious? We're being obnoxious a little bit about this Premiere. Okay, let's save. Occasionally Premiere decides my mouse needs to disappear for a bit, so we're gonna throw the be right back thing on, and we are going to close and restart Premiere because it's what we do. So please hold. Okay, and we're back. Just about. We're finishing loading up everything over here. But yeah, we've got our clip back. We can go ahead and save. We have our mouse back, which is always good. Give it a chance to finish loading everything. 'Cause right now it hasn't what it's loading are the proxies. And loading the sound. So we're gonna give it a chance to work on that. Tell it to click over to here, click back, give it a chance to keep loading everything. Takes a second. So, yeah. Going back to while I wait for this thing to kind of get its act together, the one of the things that I think that I found is super interesting when it comes to, talking about improvised weapons and fight scenes. One of the ones that comes to my mind when I wrote that question in was the bathroom fights in a Mission Impossible Fallout, where there we go, starting to get loaded in. Excellent. The bathroom fights in a Mission Impossible Fallout, where they one of the main weapons became the piping and the S-bend, or the kind of U-bend from under a sink, and that ended up being a really cool hook that they could use to throw people across the room. Ended up being a really interesting improvised weapon. I thought that was very cool. Okay, we're back in business. All right. So yeah, let's take a look. We left off here. Yeah, we're saying that run wasn't bad. And again, I'm not loving that, but I'm loving the dodge, so we're gonna keep that. Come up to here. Got the chainsaw up, that's good. Next moment. And what it's gonna come down to is as I'm like right now I'm pulling out clips at work. I'm pulling out clips that I think like do their job in terms of accomplishing what I want the scene to accomplish. If I bring this down, am I seeing? No, I'm not. I'm still cutting them off. Okay. But that that kind of frantic movement he's doing there, that's not bad. Let's put a cut. That run is pretty good. This one, I'm going to cut it up a little bit because this one I'm not going to use, like, you know, because he doesn't rev the chainsaw up. This moment would be usable only after that. That block could work. Not my favorite, but could work. Again, that third block, once we kind of... Because technically, again, talking about who's on the receiving end of these hits, technically, Doucheman is supposed to be bringing this across, and Boogie is the one deflecting it up and over. So the swing across, I need to find clips that really cover that and make it look like it's coming across. The up and over stuff, as long as you know Chainsaw's already made contact, that works because that's what we want. That's what Boogie would be doing. That's a good swing as well. The lockup is also good. I think my sound is a little bit off here, but this is looking pretty good visual wise. Let me check. Should this be faster? This might need to be faster. A little bit. I think there's something a little bit off here, but to be worked on. This is the visual clip that I end up using. It's the one I'll go with. Let's see. Okay, so that swing is good. The dodge is pretty good. I like that. I still the lockup is. Oop, hang on. Yeah, the swing is good. The lockup is not great. I'm gonna mute this and just watch this visually. That block isn't bad. Once we see what Doucheman's doing. That lunge is pretty good. That block is good. Yep. I'm happy about that move. That looks good. Cool. Moving on. That kick isn't bad. And that rise up at the end, I think, is good. So, cool. We like that. Awesome. All right, sound coming back on. That run is good. So that moment's good. Keep going. That dodge isn't the worst, honestly. Gets over there. That's good. Oh, that one actually looked pretty good. I'm actually kind of happy with that. Let's watch that again. Again, the difference in angle makes. Run is pretty good. Again, that's that last hit, and then the dodge, good. And then the end of the lockup. Actually, I think the dodge is. I think that's all I'd probably use. second half of that hit is actually pretty good from this angle. Starting it here. Yeah. Boogie dropping out of frame there. And yeah, that's pretty good. That's a lot of good clips we can use there. All right. Now we're into our close-ups. Again, I'm still debating how I want to start this fight scene. I'm not sure. Not sure what my first shot's going to be. Here we go. That walk up is good. He sees Boogie scrambling. You know, so those hits look a lot better here when you can't see how high he's swinging. When you just watch it from here. Yeah, when you watch from here, especially if we're cutting back and forth and him and Boogie going at it, that's going to look a lot better than doing it in the wides. Okay, yeah, not much else in there that I think we've got that's better or worse that's better than what we have, but it's coming along, and definitely that beginning really helps cover those first 3 or 4 hits. Also, pay attention to how few hits are actually in this fight. There's not that many, and that's one of the things that makes it kind of great is that we can tell a story with just, and we can have a fight scene that is thrilling with just a few hits. If I was to pull up the fight scene from Mandy that inspired this fight, you're really only looking at, I think we counted, I think there's only like 12 or 14 hits in that whole fight. And I'm not talking wounds, I'm talking actual times that that the chainsaws hit each other. Let's see. That dodge looks pretty good. We can use that if we need to. That walk-up's not bad. Yeah, that moving in. Now, see, we skipped that swing across the middle this time, which tends to happen. That's okay. Hey, there's me crossing frame. That hit's pretty good. Yeah, that hit's pretty good, and then we'll have another angle for the kick. Nice. Cool. Pulled some clips. Let's do some more. I have no idea this is interesting. Genuinely not sure. But it's an essential part of the editing process. This is the amount of work that goes into it. And this work is usually, not always, depends on the project, but can be done by the assistant editor, the assistant editing team. If you watch the credits of a film, and I say this all the time, you'll have one person credited as editor up at the above the line stuff where it's the singular names. And then once you get into the scroll, you'll get through, your cast and your production team, and then you'll get to your post-production team. And yeah, you'll have editors and sound editors and colorists and Foley artists, and you'll have all these people doing all these other different roles. But you will probably have assistant editors or editing PAs whose job it is, a lot of the time, to go through this stuff and sort of pick out the moments that do and don't work. And that just depends on how big the production is and how much the editor trusts their team and how much of a micromanager the editor can be. That first swing looks better here. Yeah, that whole sequence looks great. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that looks. Happy with both of these. I'm gonna put both of these up here. Yeah, that looks really good. Another thing to talk when I talk about the the one being attacked is the one in control here. Yeah, the job of doucheman of Keeks in this moment is to do the actual attacking, but he's not putting, or he shouldn't be putting. I'm going to use this scroll as a weapon. Any force behind those hits. What he needs to do, and this is the job of anyone being doing the attacking, is work up the anger, the muscles, the grimace, everything, and then like look like you're putting all this energy into a hit when you're actually coming in very gently. That's why that's one of the things that makes fight scenes this hard, is to get angry and then bring it in and not actually be coming in with any actual force. And so then Joe, when he's receiving these hits, his job is to act like there's a whole bunch of weight behind him and like push and push and push and push and fake all that. He's got to put all that energy into it. One of my favorite techniques for choking someone in a fight is, who was sending me snaps at 3 a.m? Okay, that's who it is. Obviously, Shelby Lynn, the Texan that never sleeps. But for a choking moment, if you put your hands on someone's throat, one of my favorite techniques for that, if depending on the needs of the moment, is someone puts the attacker puts their hands on the person's collarbone, right kind of thumbs kind of on the windpipe, or on the sides of your throat, not so much that you can really choke somebody, and then the other person grabs their wrists, and then what happens is the attacker tries to pull away, and the person being attacked tries to pull their hands toward them, and it's the same. And what happens is you're gonna get a struggle, but the person being attacked is the one controlling how close this person's hands get to their throat and how tight this is. And because the struggle of attacker trying to advance and attackee trying to pull away, the muscle back and forth is the same. As long as one's trying to pull away and one's trying to come forward, you can switch it and do it safely and still have the same effect. That's something that I really like. But that's the challenge of a fight scene and of good choreography and good fight performance is being able to do these things with a lot of weight, with no weight behind them, but a lot of energy and emotion that looks like it. That lockup actually wasn't bad. There you can see the shadows, so never mind. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. As soon as the shadows are out of frame, maybe. Might be able to use this. There's something there. Yep, and yeah, you can see. And that's the thing you always want to look for as a fight choreographer, as an actor, and as someone filming a fight scene, is notice if the actors are getting sloppy. If they're getting sloppy, if there's a moment that feels like, oh, we're something got a little too intense, or we played a tiny bit too fast and loose with the choreo for that take. Let's take 5 and reset. That moment's not bad actually. That kind of chaotic swing. Also, you'll notice Douchman doesn't take any hits in this whole opening. He's entirely on the aggressive, which is good. That's how you set up the attacker in a fight scene. First bout is usually a main character on the defense. I love this moment here where we got the smoke from the fire. We got the whole. Yeah, I think that pan over to Boogie will be useful. Let's keep that. I'm not keeping this bit, am I? No, I didn't love that ending. the boom dropping into shots? A little bit of the boom in that shot. That's okay. Nope. I don't think I'm going to use this anymore because I've got me coming into the shot there. Okay, yep, rest of that's all right. The other thing I'm going to be doing is for sure, I mean, our sound guy has all this audio, but I'm going to be, like, if there's moments and I'm like, all right, I'm going to look back through all the footage that once I've assembled the fight, I'm going to look back through all the footage I didn't use, and I'm going to find audio moments like this that kind of, angry pirate laugh or sound coming out of Doucheman could be useful, and that'll be a thing that I will make sure our sound guy knows to look for. Genuinely impressed the neighbors didn't call the cops when we were shooting this. That swing isn't bad. Like that first attack looks good. That whole first section, I think. Oop, hang on, why is that? That shouldn't be linked. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Whole first section looks good. Let's go on to the next one. Not great. Third one, better. Also, again, that noise, excellent. Good. Good and chaotic and aggressive. Sounds are telling the story. Good. Some crazy eyes there. That's good. That could be good for starting the swing, and we'll get that, and then we'll cut to our great angle of the hit. That looks good, actually. If I bring this down, I'm gonna have to have the edge of the frame there, but that actually a little bit of speed on this. Because one of the things I'm looking for here is transitions. I want to see how well, Doucheman transitions, in this case Doucheman transitions from one hit into the next one, and those are gonna be the essential connecting tissue to keep the fight going. Yeah, so there's that kick. I know I'm gonna put a cut there because I know I'm gonna have Boogie. I'm gonna have to show Boogie's landing. Like, I know I'm gonna show Boogie landing, so I'm gonna put a cut there. But I'm also gonna bring this up because I really love landing on that shot of him. And that kind of lunge in is good. Might need a little bit of extra love in post, but that looks pretty good. All right, how many more of these we got to do? No, so like 5 or 6. Cool. Plus the P cam. Excellent. Making progress, guys. This is coming along. This is in some ways, I feel like live streaming editing is an exercise in performance art, but that swing is good. So the cut from there. Yeah, that whole moment is good. Looks good from this angle. Feels aggressive in a good way. Let's get me out of that frame, but that looks Yep, that's all pretty usable, to be honest. That is all pretty good and and we can definitely work with it. If need be. That's the crazy thing, is even as I'm cutting this up, I'm still pulling, like, I don't think there's been a single clip I haven't pulled something out and said I think we can use this. Like I said, embarrassment of riches, we're going to be finding all the best moments as we put together this fight. And believe me, when it comes together, it's going to come together nice. This is the first step of a very long process, but a process that leads to somewhere very, very cool. So, yep. That dodge is good. Okay, now we're switching over to the close-ups on Boogie. And that looks good. That angle, boom. That looks really good. And that might be all that I need to then cut to the wide, or cut to a medium, to show him on the ground. This handheld run, I think, is good. Okay. First hit, really good. Second hit, pretty okay. Minus the light coming into shot, but if I need to crop that in to avoid it, I can do that. Third hit, not as good. Okay, so that one can come up here. We like that. The aftermath of this, again, once Boogie blocks it, that can be used. Okay, that's not so much. These little bits of reshuffling are good. That's why I'm grabbing little moments of connective tissue again. I know I've got a great shot of that I'm going to use, so I don't need this, but I'm going to pull it out anyway. As soon as the board is kind of out of frame. That felt kind of chaotic. That felt good. I might maybe work with it. See, that hit actually looks pretty good. If I didn't have that really nice insert, this might be the take I used for that hit, because that doesn't look bad. A little bit of speed on that. Yeah, that ending is good. I'm very happy with how that ending looks. Let's watch that again, just to see if I want to pull anything else out of this. See it coming in about there. Yeah, Doucheman coming in there for that last kick, I think, is great. I think that brings it together. I'm really happy with how that looks. Excellent save. That's not bad. The dodge is actually pretty decent. I've already cut this one up a little bit. Hey, yeah, awesome. Yeah, Doucheman, this movement on Doucheman I think is cool. Not loving the rest of this, but the movement on Doucheman there. Good. That last hit looks good. Yeah, that one's pretty good as a usable sequence. Good. Keep the energy up. Here we go. We're close. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna have a bit of a long stream tonight. And we're gonna get it done. A longer stream. I think my record for streaming is still 4 hours. was hyped up on a lot of caffeine, and we were using. I think we were working on finishing out the movie that was called B-52 is now called His Money. We were finishing that one up. That one's great. Oh yeah, here we go. Good. That shot covers a lot in the way that I want it to. So great. The way Boogie's kind of coming into this, I think, is really cool. That he sort of. All right. So first one. Good. That's a really good block. I'm gonna keep that. It's a parry technically, but yes, really good block, really good move. Not that one. End of this one is good once we kind of get Boogie blocking. So something like that once they're touching. There we go. Excellent. And that sound effect that Boogie made is great. As soon as there we go. As soon as we're on the Boogie, good. That ending's a little bit not much. Those hits are pretty good in the middle there. Here's the funny thing: if you want to check out, like, if you want to talk about how, like, the stuff I'm talking about happening in practice, watch fight scenes, especially in movies that are like the action movies shot around the same time as The Matrix. Because The Matrix, and yeah, kind of slightly before and after, because The Matrix was one of the first movies first American movies that made a huge splash with, we're going to train our actors to do fights, as opposed to we're going to hire guys who can fight and pretend they can act. No offense, Stallone. But, so you end up, up around that time, we started we started getting actors in fight scenes. You got, a lot of Cage's 90s career, post leaving Las Vegas, when he was doing FaceOff and Con Air and stuff. But a lot of those fight scenes, also anytime you've got a fight scene, especially nowadays, where you have an actor where kind of the selling point is that it's like, you're gonna watch this actor who doesn't really do fights. Kingsman, Colin Firth jumps to mind. If you watch some of those movies, there's a decent chance if you watch them on mute and kind of go through the fight scenes beat by beat, there's a decent chance you will see hits that don't connect. There's a decent chance you'll see moments that don't make it, but they add the sound effect anyway, and it still plays, and so it's quick, you don't notice it. I think there's at least one in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I think there's at least one in there. Okay, so the ending was the ending. That's all right. The walk up here from Douchman is good, though we've got better ones, but I'm gonna keep it for now because it's not bad. That dodge isn't bad. That sweep and dodge. The lockup's good. We can use that as our entry point. That ending's actually pretty good too. Let me undo my cut there. I think I'm gonna. Hang on. Those blades are not touching. Okay, never mind. I think we got caught on the underside of the blade instead of the actual blade itself. But the push down's pretty good once Boogie's coming back up. Dodge, block. Yeah, that moment's pretty good, and this moment here, it's okay. It's a maybe. And you'll notice that, like, I've already sort of trimmed these ones up, and the reason I've done that is because I've edited out the bits of me walking past. All right, four more team here. And some of these are going to be actually this is the hit across the face. I've already done this. And here, like, you notice here, I've cut out the, like, I've got, like, that swing from Doucheman's pretty good. I've cut out the bits where before the hit connects, but, like, the setup isn't bad. And then in this case, Boogie's reaction where he falls down is pretty good. Okay, so we've got that. Let me go ahead and pop that one up here. Pop this one up as well. I don't know if I need the third one. I'm going to put that up to, actually, I'm going to put both of these up too as maybes. Yep, okay, yeah. All right. Got two more moments to look at here. I think we're getting into inserts. Yeah, okay, now we're dropping the chainsaw. All right, let's look at chainsaw. Actually, hang on a second. I think this one's... Okay, in this case, we're dropping the chainsaw. It doesn't have a chain on it, so I'm not going to look at this one yet. Let me see what the Doucheman shots look like. Is he doing anything for this take? Nope, he's just watching. This is what actors do when they're not on camera. That's what happens when we're not on camera. Okay, so that's getting deleted. This one's getting put into the RHSC because I don't know if I'm gonna need it. Like, the only reason I would use it is, and I think if we did the chainsaw drop here, you know, if I use that take, you know, quickly to establish what happened, no one's gonna notice there's not a blade on that saw. Like, that would be fine. But if I can use the stuff with the chainsaw on it, with the saw blade on it, I want to. So I'm gonna put that in the RHSC for now. I'm gonna come back to that clip later on. I've already cut this up. Here's the link up. Okay, all right, Doucheman's. Alright, that one, yeah, so this one's not bad. This one, he's looking at the X, which is cool. Like, this is for sure like a poster shot or a shot for social media. A shot we want people to be like, hey, what's this movie about? Boom, it's this. This is what we're gonna show you. That shot's good. This one's weirdly. That one's not so much. That one's okay. I think the best one's here. Not counting the fact that we also have like a good close-up of this. Let's see. Let's look at these next ones. This shot is good for the symmetry. This shot is our, you know, like Obi-Wan and Anakin locking up lightsabers on Mustafar moment. So, yeah, not going to use any of them from the B cam on this one just because of the angle. All right, last collection of shots for the night. And I think these have already sort of been cut up a little bit, but let's check them out. Yeah. Good. This doesn't have sound, obviously, because it's just going to be... Okay, first one's great. Second one. Second one's okay. Third one's good. Oh, that one's good, though. That one might be my favorite. That one might be the one. Let's look at the Boogie one. Oh, that's a... Yeah, that's an action hero moment. I love it. Use that. There we go. Delete the rest of this. And this is the thing. Like, this moment, to be able to have a main character who goes from, let's see if I can bring this up real fast. Let's see, here's my sequences. Surf shop. So a main character who goes from introduction is this.
I'm Rocksteady.
And I'm Master Splinter. Cowabunga, dudes.
Our main character goes from that to this. That's how you. That's a character arc. That makes me happy. That's the thing I love about Joe is like. Here's the thing: doing a fight scene like this, and playing a character, your motivation is easy. Your motivation is easy. You know what how you want to come across. Like, there's not a whole not that it's not hard to do, not that there's not a whole lot of work involved, not that talented actors don't make a difference because they fucking do. But in a fight scene, you know the motivation. You know how the character's reacting. And it's mostly for the most part, we're not doing a lot of character notes on fights. We do character notes in rehearsal, and then boom, 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 the fight scene is like, yeah, what's the motivation here? Avoid the chainsaw. In a moment like this, where it's like, all right, main character introduction. What do we want this to be? There's so many options. And how do we do it? And like, do we let him be cool all the time? Joe here, a lot of this was Joe's idea for him being this kind of like. I'm trying to think of the right word for it. Like this, it is a very like brave thing for an actor to do to play someone who comes across as embarrassing, like to play a character that you would not want to be in the room with because they're just like this. It can be a real challenge for a lot of actors who want to be this guy the whole time. And it's like, no, that's like having an arc where you grow into being this guy who is scared of the water and passive aggressive and obnoxious and like really wants to be cool but is so bad at it, to being this guy who becomes cool because he has to, is just such a beautiful arc. And Joe, being as good as he is, plays this well and is brave enough to do this so that he can then become this. And that is something I love about this project, about this guy working with him. And then by the same token, not that he has the arc, but Keeks here, going from, let's see, let me find his first introduction. I think I can play that without getting in too much trouble with the music. Let's see, repass scene. So his first introduction here, that I'm gonna mute we've got some temp music in here that we want to use. I'm gonna mute it for now, but like his introduction where he comes in like looking like this. Also, let this man be in slow motion forever, because his slow-mo is just, he knows how to do a slow-mo close-up and how to just play a character. The freaking 90s cup romper that he's wearing, he's a complete beautiful weirdo. And that is just it's one of the best parts about his performance and his character. And so he's not necessarily going through an arc there and turning into somebody new, but he's one of my favorite actors to work with, because he is so willing to just lean hard into the weirdness of his character. And he's great, and he brings it across either when he's in a confident moment, like when in that scene we just looked at, or in a moment like this where he's like life or death, really playing into it. He looks phenomenal here. So yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, favorite scenes I've ever been part of, and just a big chunk of that, apart from the fact that it's like, hey, we shot a chainsaw fight. But the thing that's going to stick with me with this fight scene is the fact that these two, it is in a lot of ways the peak of where these two characters were going to go in this film, and the fact that we got there makes me so happy. So with that said, we have now taken all of these clips and cut them into reasonable little pieces. Let's save, because I will, if I forget to, I'm not going to jinx it, I'm going to save. But yeah, so put that together, and that's looking pretty good. Next time, hopefully, I had a chance to do some soul searching, and I can jump into editing to putting the actual cut together. before we get into the next bout where the surfboards gets involved. And then figure out how to do the opening. Just starting to put that together. I'm on the fence about how that's going to work. And then there's the scene before this. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's still a lot more to do with this movie, but a lot of it's coming together, and working on a scene like this, and just even the little bits of putting this together, and choosing the takes, makes me really happy because it's fun, and it's like it's another small step toward creating something really awesome, with again these two actors who are just, for as much as this shoot ran long, for as much as we're shooting late at night in February, and they're both in shorts and like tank tops or that like light leather jacket, it's still like, I'm so proud of the work they did. I'm proud of the work we did, and I think that everything we put into this is done justice in this scene. I can't wait to put it together and show it to you. So working even on a small scale here makes me really happy. All right, with that said, I'm gonna click back to just me to wrap this up. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for letting me share this process with you tonight. It has been fun. It has been a wonderful little moment. Again, editing takes forever. Editing is a long process, and you talk through the decisions and you think through them. And I tell you, every argument I get into, and like creative arguments, good arguments, nothing, but arguments I get into with directors or with producers about certain cuts and stuff, it's all coming back to what's the best way to tell the story. And it's all coming back to like, of the stuff that we have, of the footage we've got, how do we best approach it? And so getting to share my thought process with you is wonderful. So thank you so much for joining, for being part of this, for letting me share this with you. We'll be doing this again next week, I think. I'm in the process of moving, so at some point I'll be streaming from a new location. But for now, we're going to be trying to continue as scheduled with a couple of streams next week, one being photo, one being film, and we will go from there. But yeah, this has been great. If you have enjoyed this, if you want to, and if you stuck around to the end, thank you. Like I said, please, if you make art, if you tell stories, whatever you do, please feel free to drop that in the comments, so that we can see the awesome work you do. And then also, if you would like to support me, jump on over to erichackler.com, where you can check out the rest of my work. If you're looking to make a movie and you're looking for someone to shoot, to edit, to be part of the process, by all means, reach out from there. Or there's a photography page on my site where you can check out my photography. If you want to buy a print, if you want to buy some postcards, that's all things that are available to you, and things that would help me to continue doing this awesome work that I do. So be well, be safe. Thank you very much for letting me share this with you. And until next time, keep thinking about it. The best movies are made with smart decisions, irrespective of budget, tech, or anything else. It's up here. Make it happen. All right. Catch you later.